Good morning, folks. You're tuned into Car Connection, where the coffee's strong, the stories are real, and the wrenches never stop turning. I'm your host, Niall Motormouth Jenkins, coming to you from the Car Connection Workshop, where the smell of fresh oil, little elbow grease is all part of a balanced breakfast. Around here, we don't just talk cars, we live them. Whether it's a 25-year-old Jeep Wrangler getting a second chance at life, or a Nissan Rogue getting its brakes back in order, or a mystery leak that's got everyone scratching their heads. This is where we roll up our sleeves and get it done with a little wit, a little wisdom, and a whole lot of fun. The Car Connection isn't just about nuts, bolts, and diagnostics. It's about connection. Connection to our vehicles, to the people who drive them, and to the community that keeps Niagara rolling. Because when you fix a car, you're not just turning a wrench. You're restoring someone's confidence, freedom, and maybe even their sanity. We're here every week, Monday through Saturday, with the Motormouth Morning Drive, helping you keep your ride safe, reliable, ready for whatever the road lies ahead. So whether you're a weekend wrencher, a daily commuter, or someone who just wants to understand what that strange rattle really means. So welcome aboard. Stick around for shop talk, expert advice, and a few good laughs, and maybe a flashback story. Because I'll tell you, 4 decades in the automotive service industry, 11 years having my own shop, and all the years prior to that working with big rigs for Mack Trucks Canada, Peterbilt of Ontario. Grabbed my diesel endorsement. That took me about 1,670 hours. Who's counting? That's about it. And here we are, behind the microphone and sharing my expertise with you and all the experiences that I've had. I've been blessed to have some great teachers. And if you got questions, guess what? It's Saturday morning. We have made it to the weekend. We've made it to the weekend. And for those who work weekends, hey, God bless you. You're doing a great job out there. Whatever it is you're doing it. You are a team player. I've worked weekends now for 32 years. I don't even know what that is anymore. Somebody says, "Oh, what are you doing on the weekend?" What's a weekend? Oh, I don't even know when it's long weekends anymore. Haven't for a long time. Well, let's jump into our weekend weather, shall we? Yes, being brought to us by Niagara Block at 5,000 Montrose Road, Niagara Falls, building Canada since 1931, with building supplies and hardscape landscaping materials to help you create that amazing backyard space that you've always wanted, that living space, that extra living room. You know, my neighbor, she vacuums her outside living space. I'm just saying, I find that a little quirky, but it's all right. I just use the leaf blower. It's fast, it's effective, it's efficient. I'm surprised nobody has made a leaf blower to deal with dust in the household. Open the doors, open the windows, and just kind of, make sure you got the wind direction correct, and just take those dust mites and everything like right out the door. You imagine the time saving? I do that to automobiles. You know what I do? I take my leaf blower. If I can't get to the compressed air, I'm giving you a little trade secret here. You want to clean your vehicle out in a hurry, but you got to be careful. Okay, you don't want to be taking too much air to something that won't handle it. As I take my air hose out in front of the shop, I open the doors, I take everything out, floor mats, you name it, and I make sure I got the wind direction right. So lick your finger, get that up there, get your wind direction, and then blow all the dust and dirt down in the vehicle, and then it makes it quick and easy to vacuum. Top it up with a shine and a polish and some shine juice, and put everything back in and organize it, and you're done. And I use, if I can't get to the shop air hose, I use my leaf blower. Just as effective. Wireless. So if you have an electric one or a gas jobby like I have, You got to make sure you batten down the hatches, okay, fellas and fellettes. If you're going to do it that way, make sure everything that's loose is put away. So I just get a pail. Anything that's loose, I put in the pail or a box out of the way, and anything else you have in there that could, become airborne and impale somebody, like a pen or a snow brush. Pretty soon we can put the snow brushes away, but pretty soon, coming up quick, man. We are almost at the first quarter of March, and the first Saturday of March, and we have the robins here. The cardinals are back. Squirrels are doing what they do. Squirrel stuff, digging up stuff, and soon to be taking the winter tires off, putting the summers on. I can't wait to do that. I really got to I really want my vehicle all cleaned out. I hate the winter sludge and stuff that gets in there, the gravel and grit and whatnot. Little hard to take care of in the winter, but I do the best I can. House cleaning in your car is a big deal for me. I like to keep them clean inside and out. A little anal retentive with that, but you know what? At the end of the day, when you decide to sell a 20-year-old car, there's people standing in line with their wad of cash going, "That's mine. I licked it. The taillight. I licked the taillight. That's mine. I'm buying that." So here's what we got for Saturday. Saturday's low is going to be 45 after 11 p.m. The high will be after 11 p.m. Who cares? It's Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune, news, and go to bed, isn't it? So 45 degrees after 11 p.m. and the high will be 62 degrees between 12 p.m. and 1 p.m. So you better suck it up. You got 1 hour at 62, and then what happens? The temperature range will feel like 35 degrees to 52 degrees. That's still good. 52 is all right. Wind will make it feel cooler than the actual temperature. So what do we got we got a chance of some RAIN, some rain at 0.9 of an inch. And that looks like it's kind of show up somewhere between 12 and 6 p.m. So thank you to Niagara Block for bringing that to us this morning. And connect with them, and they can connect you with a contractor that'll help you with that backyard space you want to create, that outdoor space. I certainly enjoy having that out back, as having a nice covered-in porch and a super big deck, and I think it's crying out to have some of former band members come over and do a block party. Yeah, I think it's calling out for that. We haven't really christened the deck with some live music, so I'm thinking we might have to do that this year. We'll see how the summer goes. Well, let's jump into our topic. I've got multiple topics today, and Saturday is a 1-hour show with Q&A. So, somebody's got to kick that off at some point. You own cars, you have questions. You know nothing about cars, you have lots of questions. Email me questions, motormouth.jenkins@gmail.com, and I just might be answering your question live on the mic Saturday morning for Saturday morning's Q&A, 1 whole hour. We are working on bringing phone lines in to do a live Q&A on Saturday mornings from 8 a.m. till 9 a.m. So when my buddy Ty gets back from his 6 months being down in the Florida Keys, I wonder if they had snow down there. Highly unlikely. Highly unlikely. So I need his help to just put our phone IP over in that internet through one of our devices so that we can take live calls. So that's coming up. We're working on that, and then we can have guests. I can introduce you to some of the people, some of my peeps that are in business that can help you a great deal with some specific areas of your life, and you can tap in and get that knowledge. Did you know that most $5,000 car repairs start as a $200 maintenance item? Did you know that? Well, now you do. Consider being told. Would you rather spend small money on a fleet maintenance system, or would you prefer big money on a surprise? Surprise! You ever had one of those? Yeah, I used to call them the 5 o'clock surprise when I was working for a VW dealer after I closed my shop, and they had a chap there, and unfortunately, he didn't make the team. He didn't want to be a team player. We had to get that dealership turned around and going in the right direction because things were in jeopardy, and he loved to do the 5 o'clock surprise on people, and that just is, in my books, that is not acceptable. People need to be in the know what you're doing to their vehicle at all times so that at 5 o'clock they don't go, what? $800? You told me it was going to be like $250. Yeah, that's a 5 o'clock surprise. And he was really good at that, unfortunately. And there are a lot of shops out there that don't keep the customers up to date. And now with technology, we can shoot a little YouTube short and fire it over to you and show you what's going on. And then you can fire something back and say, yeah, go ahead. I see that. Yeah, go ahead and take care of that. What's it going to cost? Boom, we can send something back over. So, it saves a lot of running around, saves a ton of time if we can get that communication, that line of communication open, get questions answered, and away we go. Bob's your uncle, right? Fanny's your aunt. Exactly. And she was. But anyways, that's a different story. Today, what am I talking about? Well, it's Q&A, so if you send me questions, I'll give you answers. It's 28. You can send your questions ahead of time, Monday through Friday. Fridays are now Fun Friday. We pick a topic and we'll toss it around. This week's was, do you name your vehicles? Really? Do you allow your peas to touch the carrots? I'm just kidding. Do you weigh your food at the table? I'm just saying, these things just, pop into my head. Why don't sheep shrink when they get wet? No one has an answer for me on that one yet. Still up in the air. But do you name your automobiles? And if you do, send me an email. I would love to know that I'm not the only quirky one that does that. Because I have friends that go, Motormouth, why do you name your stuff? I go, shut the front door, dude. Like you made me get rid of my spoon rack and my floral couch. I dislike you still, somewhat. Name my cars. Yes, I do. I name the vehicles that we have in our service fleet so that, when I have to have multiple drivers, they know the names of the vehicles. I go and get Rio. Oh, okay. Or get Orange Crush. You got to go up to so-and-so. Here's the key. Battery's in it. It is ready to go. Bring it back so I can just check some things over. Go get Orange Crush. We're taking Orange Crush. And the list goes on. I was mentioning that this morning on the Fun Friday show. I did list a number of vehicles that we have. We have two still ready to come in now. They're in the staging lanes to come in, and you can help us decide which one it's going to be. So if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, you really got to do that because you are missing the boat when it comes to learning the 5 things about basic vehicle ownership and the basic fundamentals of maintenance. What it is, where it is, how it works, how it breaks, and what could you have learned to avoid that extra expense. That's my job. That's our YouTube. We have some fun on there. Skippy's an amazing videographer, and yes, she laughs at me behind the camera, and I know she takes shots of me when I'm not looking. It's a bit creepy, but she posts those up on our Facebook and Instagram pages, and also Stevensvilleontheweb.ca. So you'll find videos there that you will not see anywhere else. But if you haven't signed up for our YouTube channel, we have almost 200 videos up there now, and I haven't even included the 105 podcast episodes. So I'm definitely going to post those on YouTube as soon as I have a moment to see how that's done. Apparently it's simple, and we can get those up there as well. Our podcasts are archived on our website somewhere. Professor Mike that does he's our webmaster, takes care of that stuff, and I'll have to check on that. I know he emptied out our radio broadcasts from the archives, and I said I'd like to put some podcasts up there. If you could, if not, you can tap into our iHeartRadio link all the links for every platform we are located on. I'm just having a brain fart for a minute. No coffee yet. Trouble on the go. The homepage of our website gives you a ton of information very, very quickly. All the links are there under the logos. Just click on the logos for our program partners that make everything possible. They keep us going right now, but we need to get monetized. We do. That will make things totally change, that we'll be able to afford to buy parts, put the parts on for people, and fix their vehicles for widows, orphans, those going through some financial cramp, and also for especially single moms that really bust their butts with a couple of kids in a minivan trying to look stellar. That's a tough job right there. Yeah, we go overboard for them. And I have a couple that I go and do little service calls for to help them out because, the widows, they don't have husbands at home. And the husbands usually looked after the vehicles. So I jump in if my schedule my schedule allows me and I'm available. I just grab some tools and go. But subscribing and not just watching the videos really cheeses me off. I gotta say that. I'm just putting it out there, okay? I'm cheesed off about that. 93% of you are sponge bobbing here. You're enjoying the videos. This I know because I watch the analytics. You can't tell me otherwise, but you're not subscribed. How is that? Yeah, the bell is ringing for you. Hop to, hop sing, get subscribed, ring the bell, so you get notified when the next videos come out, and you're going to learn a ton about your automobile that's going to put a great big wad of cash back in your pocket. So we're working on putting a page up on our website to make our fleet maintenance system available to you to look at it, read all about it, how it breaks down and how it saves you money, and how you can order it safely online and pay for it, and it's on its way. Bing, bang, boom. So we are working on that right now. If you want more information about it, send me an email, motormouth.jenkins@gmail.com, or Nile, N-I-L-E, no S, at ccbusnet.com. You can email me through stevensvilleontheweb.ca. All our links are top right-hand corner on the homepage of our website at ccbusnet.com. It's just short for Car Connection Businessnetwork.com. And after you type that in, yeah, you deserve a cup of coffee. So use the shortest version. We have ccbusnet.com. It's always in the descriptions for our YouTube videos, and also on Stevensville on the web.ca. That's connecting the businesses of Stevensville to the community, and they have a real communal thing going on with that website that our Skippy, our videographer, created. They have over 7,000 views on that website. So they gave us a free profile page because my pops has lived in Stevensville. My mom passed in 2022, and he still has his faculties. He still drives a Lexus Turbo. He's a crazy maniac out there, let me tell you. Ripping it up. Yeah, but he's big on maintenance now. But if he borrows your car, that's a different thing. He drives it like he stole it. Don't tell him I said that. But anyways, Stevensville on the web.ca. Click on the businesses tab to find us there. You can email me there. You can email me through our website. There's a website form there. Just include the word fleet, and I'll know what it is that you're looking for. We are working quickly to get that put up on our website, a full page for our fleet maintenance system that will save you thousands of dollars in maintenance. And you won't be buying a car every 3 to 5 years paying interest and principal. Are you kidding me? The never, never plan. That is going to go on a t-shirt. Yeah, don't get sucked into the never, never plan and the maintenance free mumbo jumbo, because that's all it is. They don't want you fixing your cars, folks. They want you being in debt the rest of your life paying for an automobile. Does not have to happen. Doesn't. I'll let you know when we get a schedule for car shows and stuff. You come out and take a look at vehicles that we paid very little money for and turned them into tools to bring them out for fundraising events, car shows, which turn into fundraising events, and we let the kids have their picture taken with the car or sitting in the car. And all these tools didn't cost a bundle of money. It just meant they needed to be cleaned and respected and detailed and fix what's broken. Folks, fix what's broken. Do the maintenance. Don't neglect maintenance. It's a piece of machinery. That's the way you got to look at it. Your vehicle is a fleet vehicle, whether you have 1 or 10 or 3 or 2. Follow the maintenance system we have put together that's laminated, and you can use it over and over and over again, and you can be a complete idiot like me and know how to use it. That's how simple it is. It doesn't matter, ladies and gents, whether you don't know the difference between the glove box lid and the hood over the power barn. It doesn't matter. I teach you all that stuff on the fleet maintenance system and through our YouTube videos. You can watch, right? If you can watch the boob tube, you can certainly watch our YouTube channel and laugh and also learn at the same time. Laugh and learn. That's what I firmly believe in. You can laugh and learn. And you can laugh with other people, but don't laugh at them, okay? I hear that's disrespectful. But if somebody whacks their funny bone, I can't help it but laugh. Because while they're suffering, you'll see, I just started laughing just like that. It just is. It's funny. So Q&A Saturdays, help us to get that going. Through the Monday through Friday, email me your question, and I'll answer it on the air on Saturday. It's that simple. Just send me an email. If you want to know more about the fleet maintenance system that I've created that will save you thousands of dollars in needless repairs, and you'll be able to keep your vehicle like I do, 300, 400, 600,000 K miles without a problem. Exactly, because you will be well ahead of the service and maintenance so things don't get spinning out of control, because that's what happens. Every single one of the fleet vehicles that we put together for car shows, do you know why? How we got them so cheap? Because nobody did the maintenance, got to a point where they're just like, I'm just not going to put the money into it. That's how we got them. Brought them back to the shop, pull all the interior out, clean everything, fix everything that's broken, put it back together, do all the mechanicals, bam, you got an excellent car right there. Just like that. And go into our YouTube channel and watch the 1997 Jeep TJ Wrangler rescued from the crusher in a truck wrecking yard in Iron-on-the-Lake, brought it back here, and less than 2 years later, it's going to be driving out of the shop tomorrow morning. Yep, it's going to be driving out of the shop. And I will capture that first drive out of the shop to the outside in its entirety, from being pushed in a million pieces. Because I did a lot of work on it outside when I got it. That was June of 24. June of 24. It took us 6 months to find an engine after we discovered the engine was completely destroyed. But the big kicker is, when all is said and done, I'm going to do the big reveal. What did it cost to bring that thing from going to the crusher back to a reliable vehicle that will be part of our fleet? And I'm going to use that instead of my FJ for pulling loads of wood out of the bush for me. So I want to save the FJ. Not to say we're going to destroy the 97 TJ, but it's more suitable for doing that. The FJ goes to car shows and stuff, and it just takes too long to clean it up. So this is going to help us a great deal. And it's a workhorse. That's what it is. We'll take care of it, and we'll keep the maintenance up. But you'll get a chance to see, what did that cost to put it together? You are going to be shocked when it's going to cost you $58,000 to buy a Jeep this afternoon. out of the showroom. Base price. Yeah. Maybe you can arm wrestle and get it down to, maybe $57,995. I don't know. But at the end of the day with tax, shipping, and freight, you're going to be like $64,000. That's a lot of donuts, man. That's like you could have a loaded coffee card pretty much for the rest of your life. Just go, my card. Yeah. Anyhow. All right, let's get back on topic here. Let's reel this in and say thank you to Earl and Louise Grant, making it possible for us to be here on the airwaves, on the digitals now. City Auto Sales and Leasing. Earl and Louise Grant, fantastic couple. You have got to meet them. If you want to buy with confidence and be treated with nothing but honesty and integrity, for 25 years, they are the Greater Toronto Area's premier pre-owned auto store. They sell no junk there. Their vehicles, I would buy a vehicle off of Earl and Louise in a stinking heartbeat. Low mileage, top quality vehicles, sourced from their resources for the last 20, 25 years. Fair prices. You can't beat that. Somebody's done the homework for you. They're all cleaned up, and they look simply marvelous. Simply marvelous. They do. So check them out. Click on their logo on our homepage at Car Connection Business Network. Connect with them. It is worth it. That's the second largest purchase you're going to make next to a home. If you can buy one, don't get me going on that. It's like talking about car insurance. We are going to talk about car insurance very, very, very shortly, and I'm sure a lot of you are going to have questions and or comments. Send those in to me through the email. Make sure you write down our email address, or at least log it in somewhere so that you can send a smoke signal over to me at Niall@ccbusnet.com or motormouth.jenkins@gmail.com. That's JENKINSNILE. Correct. That's correct. Niall@ccbusnet.com or motormouth.jenkins@gmail.com. Yeah, that's right. So today, putting money into an older car, is it worth it? One of the biggest questions I have fielded on the radio on a number of different networks, AM and FM Sports Channel. We were on ESPN for 12 and a half years with Car Connection, our live Saturday call-in program, and now we're fully digital. And I'm really getting hooked into this now because it gives us a whole lot more freedom to, instead of being tied into circles of population, we're north, south, east, and west, 360 degrees on the planet. Sorry, you flat earthers. Yeah, when you can show me the edge, I'll believe you. All right? Yeah, we'll just leave that discussion right where it is. When you can take me, if the earth is flat, flat earthers, if you can take me to the flat side edge, I'll believe you that the earth's flat. Till then, she's around. She's around like you head, okay? Yeah, pretty much. So let's talk about that question. When is it a good time and when is it not a good time to put money into a jalopy? That's where I always give you the same, will always give you the same recipe for that. First of all, we need to do a 100% no additives, no preservatives inspection. That means gloves off, both eyeballs open, take the welder's mask off, and let's look the car over completely. Completely. And if I do it for you, I include a review on the inside, the body, and the underside structure, and then all the mechanicals, fluids, belts, hoses, you name it. Because we need to see the big picture. How do we, if you had somebody call you, could you give them a haircut over the phone? No. If somebody called you and said, can you tell me what a banana tastes like? Could you break that out for him? Of course not. Well, how can I answer that question honestly and openly here on the microphone if you ask me, should I put more money into my automobile or not? It's 10 years old. Well, I did order and pre-order a Magic Wand and a crystal ball. Nothing yet, just a notification of back order. So I have to rely on my peepers to tell me what's going on with your car. So, sometimes I'll say, if you could go to your car right now, put your right hand on the passenger side front fender and just remain still, I'll see if I get a reading at this end. It's probably not going to happen. Probably not. No. So how and what do we do next? A 100%, like I said, no additives, no preservatives, evaluation of every single aspect of that vehicle. And as long as the structural integrity's there and I don't see any major boogity things going on with the power plant, everything seems to be a go, then yes, absolutely. You can keep that thing going for another 10 years very, very easily. Do you know how much money that saves you in interest and car payments? Just do the math. If you're making a car payment, here, I'm going to give you a little homework. Grab your crayon. Always have a 16-pack of Crayolas. Those are my favorites. They smell good, but they taste bad. Oh, I wasn't supposed to divulge that. Yeah. I used to be a crayon eater, but now I'm not. My name is Motormouth. I used to be a crayon eater, but I don't crayon eat anymore. Yeah, so a 16-pack of Crayolas and a folded leaf bag that looks like a laptop. Now you can take some notes. So you want to make sure that you're writing down all the details. Every single thing that vehicle's going to need. But here's your other homework. If you're making a car payment right now, write down what that payment is. Okay? Just write that down. And how many years have you got left to pay that off? So just get your calculator going on your phone or electronic device and tap that in. If you've got 3 years left on your car loan, times it out. Time it out. 15 months, 18 months, 24 months, 36 months, and look at that number. Look at that number. That's how much money you're going to save to keep an older car going. You're not going to be out that much money to keep it going. We keep a whole fleet going for a whole lot less than what most of you are paying in a whole year on car payments. My neighbor got rid of his pickup truck. He said, it's got to go. I'm paying $2,200 a month for that. And I went, yuddy, yuddy, yuddy. What? I said, what did you say? Yeah, $2,200 a month. I said, is like all in, gas, oil, maintenance, insurance? No. That's just so I can keep it and the bank doesn't take it. He says, I got to get rid of it. Like I'm getting upside down and sideways with my home and the truck. It's got to go. And I walked away from that conversation go, oh my. Do the math on that one. Just 1 year worth of payments. That one's easy. Over $24,000 in 1 year. Holy smokes, folks. Even if that's $1,500, even if it's $800, even if it's $600, even if it's $450 a month, that's a lot of dough. Big time. And if you evaluated your old car, if it's so rotted out and the chassis and everything is rotted out, you got nothing to work with. Then you got to grab something that you can work with. And that's when I say, you need to go meet Earl and Louise Grant, pick yourself a goodie, and then take care of it. And you're going to have that for the next 15, 20 years. Period. Yes, you are. Because I'll tell you, I don't have a whole lot of faith in 2026 models. I'll tell you that. I just don't. I feel sorry for anyone buying something new. I'd be going back 10 years and buying something pre-owned before I do a 2026. From what I see, I don't want to touch it. I don't want to own one. Not interested. My '07, that's just fine. The '08 Ragu, that's what I nicknamed it. That's its name now, is Ragu. Because if you just change a couple things on Rogue, you can make the word Ragu. So it's now known as the Ragu. Yeah. So yeah, getting back to that is if you name your vehicles, then it'll help me not feel so weird. And I shared on the Friday program, Fun Friday. I think I tried to remember as many vehicles as possible, even from past that I don't even own anymore. Um, Everything was named. My '76 Dodge Valiant, Plymouth Valiant back then. I got that given to me. Didn't even know what color it was or anything. Just a key fob with a Chrysler key on it, and go to Bay 200, downtown Hamilton. It's in the underground somewhere. My sister hasn't driven it for probably, we don't know. We don't even know what it is. But this is the key. Here's the paperwork. We're going golfing with the ladies to Florida. So their husbands were very successful. They were all widows, and they had their little clique going. They did luncheons, and then they got on a plane and they fly and play golf. And I thought it was so cool because they were, in their 80s, and they're still driving and hanging out. So that car, when we eventually found it and got it washed off, I nicknamed it Gert. Gertie. And I thought it fit. It was green. Yeah. It's sometimes it's very, very difficult to be green. It was green with a green vinyl top, 4-door. That thing was amazing. I never had a Chrysler before. Excuse me. It was amazing, that car. I liked it. Except one thing, do not wear shorts in the summer on really, really, really hot vinyl seats. Bad news. The skin gets irritated, and it might even come off. Yeah, because you just kind of iron yourself to the vinyl. So, excuse me, that was one of the things I didn't like about it. Was you either have a blanket on there or make sure you got some kind of protection against the hot vinyl, because it was not forgiving. It was like, making a one of those toasted sandwiches. Exactly. You can't get out of the car fast enough. But that was Gert. And I was trying to think of some other ones I've had in the past. Well, one I forgot this morning is my third Bronco. I still own it. I was a real good Bronco fan. I had two. I used them for quite a while and looked after them, and then I sold them off. And the one I shouldn't have sold came from the Yukon. I sold that to my parents, and then they traded it in, and I really wanted to get it back, but it was too late. So the one that I have is my last one that I owned, 78. That is a XLT Ranger. Yeah, XLT Ranger. I put a 7.3 big block 460 gas-sucking pig in there, and you're going to get to see that as well. So the engine's in, and it's just sitting out front. I just moved it the other day. It's getting ready to come in to the shop. It's probably going to be early summer when that one comes in. I think I stepped on that a little bit. Yeah, you get to choose what vehicle we work on next in the shop on our YouTube channel. It's going to be one of two. If you want to vote in on that, and we'll see which one you guys choose as a whole for me to pull out and bring into the shop and get it running after. Well, the oldest one is from like 1992. I've owned it since 1992-ish. I'd have to look it up in the file. 71 Fiat Spider 1608 convertible, of course. I got all the paperwork on that from when it was brought from a military man who was in the military in Europe and had it brought to Canada. Yeah, in and around that time. So I have its first tank of fuel, paperwork at a Shell station, and all the paperwork. It went to the Fiat dealer that was around at that time was Gulliver's Motors. That was, I believe, Stony Creek-ish, Highway 8. And, yeah, that needs, it was just starting to show signs of oil coming up in the cooling system, which is a head gasket. And so the engine had been rebuilt a couple times by the dealer in Canada. Lots of money spent on it, but I don't see anything where they machined the cylinder head, so that's where the problem is. So we got to take the cylinder head off and do a bunch of maintenance on that one to get it back out on the road. It ran good up until I said it can't run it anymore. Got oil coming up. So we got a engine problem developing. Let's get that fixed. Number 2 is Rio. Well, the 71 Fiat Spider I called Tony. And the reason being is we always nicknamed Fiat's Fix It Again Tony. Yeah, and anyone he worked on him was Service Tech Fix It Again Tony. So, and then the 92 Volkswagen Golf Carmen Cabriolet is from California. It's spotless underneath, like brand new. And the top side, that is a 2-door convertible, of course, with air conditioning. That all works, but it also needs a bunch of mechanical work done to it as well. Some electrical and a whole list of stuff. The parts are all ready for that to do it. We got to put a clutch in there. The pedal's harder than a walnut to press. So something in the pressure plate has bent, is out of place, whatever. Transmission's got to come out and probably replace the clutch. I would say 99.9% correct in saying it needs flywheel machining, clutch pressure plate, throw out bearing, pilot bearing, stuff it back in. So you get to choose which project we bring in next. So you can do that through our YouTube channel. You can email me. Which one would you like to see be brought back to life and get it running and get it back out on the road? Neither one of those has been roaded. So I've owned them. I put them in a barn and took care of them and have nurtured them, but have not put them on the road yet. I bought them because the fella that had the Fiat was going through a very nasty time in a divorce, and the car was left in a wooden carriage house on the Hamilton Mountain that was falling over, and the building was condemned. He had nowhere to take it. He had no means to take care of it. And one of my workers at the time told the fella, come and see my boss, and maybe he'll buy it and just put it in his collection somewhere and take care of it later on. So that's what we ended up doing. Helped him out. I didn't really need it, but it's a cute little car, and it's a 1608cc. It scoots pretty good. And so let us know, which one would you like to see on our YouTube channel? So back to one of the main questions I have fielded for 31 years on radio, and this is our first year on digital platforms, is putting money into an older car. Is it worth it? Yes or no? I'm going to say absolutely yes, providing that you have done your due diligence and had a complete evaluation of that vehicle, an honest, open, to the nut evaluation. And if the structure's solid, you've got a really good contender. If the engine's solid and transmission are doing well, they're healthy, they seem to look healthy and run healthy, then you got a really good contender to put a lot of money back in your pocket. And here's what I don't want you to do. I don't want your mindset to go here. Well, it's not worth spending money on an older car. Who said that? Who sold you down the path to that is factual? Because it's not. If the vehicle's bought and paid for, that's like having a gold bar. You're not in partnership with the bank or a lending institution. You own it. You own it outright. So let me put it this way. You pay off your mortgage. Now you don't have a mortgage. Do you get rid of the house? Well, we don't want to put any money into it. It's an older home. You know, we've lived here 28 years. It's paid off now. We should probably get rid of it. See where I'm going? Does that make any sense to you? Well, we're just, we could end up putting a ton of money into this place. What if it needs a roof? What if it needs a whack of plumbing? The same thing applies with the car. It's probably going to need some stuff. Just keep it going. Even if you have $1,000 repair bill, how many car payments is that? There's a question for you. How many car payments would make up that $1,000? My neighbor, $2,200 on a pickup truck a month. Then gas and oil and insurance on top of that. And maintenance. Hello. That's what you got to look at. Don't look at what it's worth curbside. That's where I'm going. If somebody says, well, thing's only worth like $500. Is it? Really? Is that all it's worth is $500? I love those cars, man. I can't tell you how many people I bought $500 cars from. They're still going. Some of them are in our fleet. Oh, it's just an old car. Give me $500 for it. Okay, done. Bing, bang, boom. For less than 2 car payments, it's back out on the road, folks. With some elbow grease, go through it mechanically. Again, check, make sure that it's structurally sound. Wham! You got yourself a real goodie there. I don't care what it's worth curbside. Do you know what it's worth to me? Paid off and reliable, and it can be fixed, and it can be maintained. Again, if you got a $3,600 bill on an older car that's paid off and it's solid, how many monthly payments is that? Well, I'll tell you right now, on a brand new Jeep this afternoon, right out of the showroom, $58,000 comes in around $64,000, $67,000 all in. That's only a couple payments. 3. That's 3 payments. So if you got a bill for $3,600 to get your old jalopy back up to steam, that's 3 payments on a new Jeep, not including insurance, gas, oil, maintenance. That's it. Just to have it. Just to have it. That's what you're going to pay. Is that a cheap ride or what? $3,600, get everything all caught up. That's tires, brakes, fluids, filters, belts, hoses. Bring the thing right up to A1 and then maintain it and use the fleet maintenance system to keep it going. You are off to the races. You are putting thousands of dollars back in your bank account. It never left. Could you afford to put some money in that older car? You bet your bippy you can. Yes, you can. And keep it going like I do. That's all I do. Exactly what I'm telling you is what I do, and I don't make car payments anymore. I told the story this morning, or yesterday rather, Friday. Yeah, that would be yesterday morning. Of the 1984 short box 4-wheel drive pickup truck limited edition I bought back in 1984. And I didn't buy it new. There were only 500 made worldwide, and its number is 222. And I hunted like a dog to get one, and I couldn't get one. The dealers, depending on the size, would get maybe 1, maybe 2, and they were already spoken for. So anyways, it so happened I found one in the Hamilton Spectator for sale up in London. I called, and the guy said, yeah, I bought it for my wife. She cannot drive a stick. So, and I remember it as though it happened yesterday. He said, I'm getting her a Chevy Blazer. So I'm going to be trading it in, but you're going to actually buy it through me, through the dealer, back into your hands. I go, yeah, I get it. I totally get that. I said, it's mine. I'll take it. It was $11,200, 1984. So if I was able to pay cash for it with no interest, it would have been $11,200. They took care of the safety inspection and all the paperwork, transfer the plates. And my brother took me to the Hamilton bus station, and I had the check to pay for it from the bank, my license plates, and on the bus all the way to London. The gentleman's name was David, and I remember the last name and everything. He picked me up at the bus station. We went to the dealer. They plated it all up and everything, had it all ready for me, and I drove it back home. So that day, if I was able to pay for it, was $11,200, and it had just shy of 12,000 kilometers on it. So I was 22 years old. There you go. You can do the math. Don't say it. Just think it. I don't care. If you didn't know when you were born, you'd never know how old you are anyway. And, sleeping's way overrated. You can get so much done when everybody's out of your way. Anyhow, I was paying, you ready? Interest rate 1984, 17.93%. That's right. Not making it up, babies. 17.93% on $11,200. I was a first-year apprentice. I lived in my own place, and I was going to Mohawk College for my trade, paying my way. And I was working. That was, to me, was a pretty hefty car payment. I'll tell you, right down to the nut. I paid it right down to the nut. Almost $23,000 by the time it was paid off with interest and principal. Yeah, doubled the money, doubled it. So I had a loan for 5 years, and after 5 years was still some payments left, so they refied what was left, and at the end of it would have cost me just shy of $23,000 all in payments and interest. Yeah, I don't like car payments. So I still have it, and his nickname is Mo, because he's short for Mojave. And it's 100% mechanically sound, and we had that out 2 years ago to car show at Safari Niagara. It was pretty cool. I don't think we have any pictures up on our YouTube channel for that. Maybe we'll have to see if we can pull some up. It's pretty cool looking. But I say all that to say this. When you're making car payments, it doesn't matter if it's 10, if it's you got a vehicle that's 10 years old, it's solid, keep it. Stay away from the car payments. If you can save up enough money and move forward with a newer vehicle, pre-owned, that's what I recommend. Pre-owned. Let someone else take the hit for depreciation, because they're going to lose, depending on what manufacturer, make, and model, they're going to lose 15 to 25% per year. So let them take the hit, and you walk in, buy it for a third of the price, and walk away with a solid vehicle that now you can keep that thing for 10, 15, 20 years if you want. But you got to have a plan to do that. And that's why I developed I turned what I used as a tool when I was servicing fleet vehicles into a service system that works on light truck passenger vehicles, no matter how many you have and what it is, what year, make, and model. Doesn't matter. It's universal and it's reusable. So you never have to get another one. Just keep using it over and over and over again. Thank goodness for dry erase markers and sticky notes and Velcro and zip ties. Those are 4 of my favorites. Let me know what your favorites are. I don't think I can live life without sticky notes, zip ties, and the other. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think I can. And coffee. Absolutely not. So let me know what vehicles you've had, past, present, or even thinking about in the future. Do you name your vehicles, and what's the name? And what's the meaning behind giving it the name? And I remember one of my favorite cars, I didn't own it for more than a year, I don't think, Rhonda. That would have made a fabulous sleeper car, guys. It was navy blue, Chevy Malibu, like 1980. And it had the V6 in it, 231. And that thing was a bullet. And I bought it off the original owner, bought it brand new, and I actually serviced that Rhonda, the Malibu wagon, at my shop on the Hamilton Mountain. And they bought a Subaru Forester, and I got the thing. Kathy, the owner, she just said, give me a couple $100 for it, I'm happy. And I took care of it. But then I heard of a single mom with 3 kids, didn't have a car, and so it was worth passing it on to that person and helping them out. And I learned about that through my apprentice at the time. So getting back to the question, putting money into an older car, is it worth it? Yes or no? That's something that you have to decide. If you place a curbside value on it and say, well, it's only worth $500, I'll be right there to buy it, because I'll turn that $500 beauty into a real beauty and help somebody get down the road with a cheap ride and reliable transportation, and then teach them how to take care of it. You can go as long as you want, 300,000, 400,000, 600,000 K miles, and even keep going. It's a mindset. It is a mindset. Well, coming up on Monday, Monday's morning drive with Motormouth. We're going to be talking about cooling system service and transmission service this time of year, especially coming out of the winter, how important that is to get your vehicle into summer shape ahead of time. And again, it's all about keeping it going. The best vehicle in the driveway is the one that's paid for, and that's what you would hear sitting down with our certified financial planning professionals, Tony Mealy and Larry Tetro. They'll tell you that best car in the driveway is the one that's paid for. Keep it going. Treat it as though that's the last vehicle you could ever buy, and it's the last one on the planet. That's the mindset you have to have, and take care of it. Treat it that way. It's the last one you're ever going to be able to have, because there's no more to be had. How would you treat it? You would treat it like kit gloves, right? Absolutely. Next question. I got time for to cover another question. Is it worth paying a service tech to do a complete vehicle review? Yes. If you're serious about evaluating it to make a decision whether you move it out, sell it off for what you can get for it, and move into something else. And again, I highly recommend pre-owned. Don't go in way over your head and be car broke. If you have to move forward on another vehicle, then you want to move forward smart. That you're not working home to work, 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 and that's just the first week to make a car payment. If that's the case, that's not a good idea. You keep it going. But if you can limp it along for another year and pack some money away and buy a pre-owned the following year, that's what I would recommend. But if the evaluation shows that, for a couple of $1,000 you can get the thing right back up to par, absolutely. That's a no-brainer. I don't care if its value is $200 on a trade-in. It's paid off, and for a couple of grand, you can keep that baby humming down the road. Absolutely. If there's something major wrong with it, then that's where you really got to take a look at what is it, what would the initial investment be, and what would your return on that repair be? How many months, how many years for that to pay back? That's when you really got to take a look at it. If the engine's hurt or the transmission's hurt, you got to look at the rest of the vehicle and see, is it worth putting a transmission in? If everything else is in tip-top condition, if you spent $5,000 and put a rebuilt transmission in it, how many car payments is that? It's not even a year's worth. It's not. When you add it all up, car payment's going to be more than that in a year. Absolutely. Question number 3. After you've had the evaluation, what do I do next? Well, here's the answer. What's your game plan? If you haven't been really good with your maintenance up to this point and you suck at it, what's your game plan? You got to have a game plan. It's just like this time of year, ladies, and maybe some fellas, you're looking at, what? I put on a few pounds over the winter. I'm going to look like a beached whale in my one piece. You're going, I got to do something about it. Honey, does this make me look fat? Is that the time? Exactly. Don't answer it, guys. Drop the phone or whatever. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I think I left the barbecue on. I gotta go. I'm late for a meeting. Yeah, you got to come up with a game plan, don't you? What's it going to be? You're either going to look bad in your one piece on the beach this year, or you get serious and you go, yeah, I think I put on like 15 pounds. I see it too. I can see that. Yeah. And what are you going to do about it? What's the game plan? Your car is the same thing. So you get the evaluation, so you know what it needs, and it's worth keeping. What's your game plan to take care of it? If you don't have one, that's where I can help you. You need to get hold of us to find out how you can get a fleet maintenance system so you can track that maintenance and keep that baby going as long as you possibly can and bank cash. And especially in this economy that we're in, well over 74% of the population in Canada is less than $200 from being bankrupt. It's a sad state of affairs. It's not a good time to get into debt. It's a good time to get rid of debt, and it's a good time to not take on debt, and especially payments on an automobile. If it's going to put you in a super tight financial spot, if one, you don't want to be living with the house of cards. I've been there more than once. And when your financial planner says, Motormouth, one card shifts, you won't have a good financial record till about age 71. And I'm thinking at that point, I'm stretchy pants, Velcro shoes, and buffets, buddy. Who cares? No, in all seriousness, you don't want to be financially wiped out. So we're going to pull over and park and leave it there. Monday, we're going to be talking about cooling system, transmission service. Yes, that's something that you definitely have to do. You have to do it. And take care of everything, no matter what it is. You got to be a good steward of what's been handed to you. And when you're not, then you're constantly working to replace the same things you've already put good money out on. I see, a good example is a lawn and garden tractor. I could take you to a couple of homes where they finished with it back in the summer is where they left it all winter. Go price out a garden tractor today. They're not cheap. They're made dirt cheap. They're junk. They don't last. Why would you do that? If it's worth, say, $3,000, $5,000, if you left that money in cash on your kitchen table, would you leave the room? There's my question for you for the weekend. So remember, just a reminder, Saturday's 1 hour show, and we're 2 minutes over. Q&A, questions and answers. You got questions? Shoot them to me throughout the week, and I will set them aside on my clipboard for Saturday morning, and I will answer all those questions live on the microphone, like right now. Okay? So it's Niall at ccbusnet.com. BUS is in Sam, net.com. If you can't remember that, it's Motormouth, one word, .jenkins, JENKINS, @gmail.com. And I always put that information in the description of our videos and our podcasts, and I say this. Take the time to read the descriptions for our YouTube videos and podcasts. I put a lot of tech tips in and effort into those descriptions to give you more information, a lot more. So it's worth your while reading it and even take some notes. So have yourself a great weekend. We'd like to thank our certified financial planners, Tony Mielli and Larry Tetro, 50 years experience as fiduciaries with IG Wealth Management. They'll give you an hour and a coffee of their time. Excuse me, I got a frog in the throat this morning. They'll give you an hour and a coffee. That is a discovery meeting. And here's what I'm going to tell you. Leave your wallet at home. No sales tactics. They're going to listen to where you're at, where you want to get to, from where you are, and formulate a game plan for you. So that whether you have a portfolio with the bank, you certainly need to sit down with them. You're not making any money. The bank is. Number 2, dealing with debt. Number 3, estate planning. You have a checkbook and a bank account. You have an estate that needs to be planned for. You have children. Add those in there with the health proxies. A mortgage. You need a mortgage put together. I haven't been with the bank for 15 years. I get my mortgages through IG Wealth Management. They have a phenomenal mortgage department at great rates. While others were scrambling and getting 5, 6, 6.5, 7%, we got a mortgage locked in for 5 for 3. So you know what? I love working with them. I don't like working with the banks. The banks are part of the financial food chain, and I know exactly what position they're in. For me, life insurance, critical illness insurance, none of us plan to get ill or die, but we're people and we don't get out of this alive, and you can make sure that you've got your family and your finances protected. So connect with Tony Miele or Larry Tetro and arrange that hour and a coffee. And again, leave your wallet at home. You will not be needing it. Thank you to our nonprofit, faith-based organization looking after men, women, children, widows, orphans, single moms, with meals, love, hope, and programs to help them move forward. They help the kids after school. They feed them. They play games with them. And they also help them with homework and mentor them. And they can take music lessons at the Dream Center for free. And they put hot meals out the door every Tuesday and every Friday. And right now they tell me they're serving almost 300 meals out the door every Tuesday and every Friday. So if you can help them with that or volunteer, do something, send some gift cards. For every $25, you will get a tax receipt. They're a nonprofit, faith-based organization serving men, women, children, and young adults in the Niagara region. So till Monday, have yourself a wonderful weekend. Stay out of the puddles. And happy, healthy motoring. And we'll see you Monday morning at 8 a.m. for another Motormouth Morning Drive. Peace, patience, and kindness always. Bye for now.